What's up, guys? Keith with the Landscaping Employee Trap. In this video I want to talk about if you're totally exhausted after work each day and you want to get to the next level, you want to break through and get stuff done like you've never done before, or optimize your business, optimize your life, add little systems or marketing systems, see things in a way and do things in a way that you don't normally do them. Well, I would like to show you a story on the board, but also not only talk about what I'm going to talk about is the parable of the pipeline. Great story, and it's a learning lesson. But I want to say, when you're tired, that's the time to push through even more and get stuff done. But I would like to suggest you can't access higher thoughts. You can't access creativity when you're exhausted at the end of the day. You're just like going through the motions to go home and go back to work, and that's like what your average 9-to-5er does. By the time, Joe Blow gets off work, he's so tired, dude. He's just like, oh my God, I can't even think higher thoughts. I can't do what I want to do. I just got to get to bed. And you're just repeatedly exhausted, being ground down to a stump and worked into the ground, watching your life just piss away. And that stuff really got to me in the early days, back when I had a job, and it drove me crazy. So this is how it works. People talk about how to get from point A to point B, but I don't think it's just about how, because we have how-to information all around us. How to do this, how to do that, how to do this. I really believe that its state of consciousness is everything. You're ever in a great mood, you got tons of energy, you got good sleep that night, and you're laughing, you have these great ideas, and you execute, versus being completely exhausted and run down and depressed and hating your life. Like, how are you going to get anything done that's relevant to your purpose if you're not in that state of consciousness where you're receptive to everything around you? You ever have moments or days or even hours where you're just totally receptive to everything and in the vibe, man? So check this out. I'm going to go into this. Here's the parable of the pipeline. This is my shitty little village. This is a town. Here's a well, and that's, water. Basically, the town needs to get water, so they hire guys to carry buckets. There's them a little bucket, and you carry the buckets back and forth from the well to the village to get paid. That's what Pablo and Bruno do. So every time, that's their job. Every time they carry the buckets back and forth, they get paid. That's their 9-to-5 job. Well, after work, they're tired, they're exhausted, they got blisters on their hands and feet, and they're sunburned, but they're making a decent living, they're making enough to pay the bills, they're getting the water, bringing it to the village needs water, they have job security, right? Well, one day, Pablo was like, hey man, I have this idea, Bruno. What if, after work, we start digging a trench and building a pipeline from the well to the village? We could build a pipeline, and then the water would just flow automatically. We could put a patent on it or whatever, and we could put a pump in there, and we could get paid on autopilot. Or we could build something that, what's the word? Puts gold in thy purse. You ever listen to The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason? Listen to The Richest Man in Babylon, phenomenal book, dude. But anyways, Bruno's like, what are you talking about? You're nuts. Get back to work. We got to carry buckets, man. You're crazy. Let's keep doing it the way we've always done it. So Bruno calls Pablo a nutcase. Pablo's like, yeah, you're right. But Pablo keeps thinking about it. He's like, you know what? If we really built a pipeline, this would work. Bruno wasn't on board. Bruno told him to shut up. No, let's not threaten our jobs here. So that's all that happened. But you know what? After a couple weeks, Pablo started really thinking. They were both exhausted after work. Pablo was saving his money, but Bruno was going out to the bar and buying rounds of drinks and getting wasted and doing drugs or whatever the hell he was doing. But Pablo went out after work on the weekend, and he got a shovel, he got some tools, and he started digging a trench, digging a pipeline. He didn't really get very far. He didn't know what he was doing. He was exhausted out of his mind. He couldn't even think the thoughts of how to draw out a whole blueprint of do it. All he knew is that he had a dream that he could get it done. And Bruno and his homeboys walked by Pablo on a Saturday morning. They're all hungover and shit. And they saw him digging a trench over by the well. And he was like at like 15 feet in and he's dripping in sweat. They're like, what the hell are you doing? You're an idiot. You're an idiot, bro. You're an idiot. What are you doing digging this busted ass pipeline? It's all in your head, right? When the Mackinac Bridge or the Golden Gate Bridge was being built, and it was only like halfway done, some critics walked up and they're like, what are you doing? I don't see any cars driving across this bridge. It's not done yet, right? It's nowhere near done yet, but people don't have vision, right? Pablo had a vision. He didn't listen to them. He kept saving his money and investing it into his pipeline, bitches. And digging. And after like 3 months, he was halfway done. You know, Bruno thought he was nuts. Everybody thought he was nuts. They made fun of him. But he kept digging his pipeline. He had vision. Now, mind you, he was doing this after work at night, exhausted. When he could have been, I don't know, watching TV. He could have been catching up on sleep. He could have been spending time with all his distant relatives and hanging out with his friends and do whatever, you know, life, all the emergencies of life happen to these guys. But he was taking his free time, Bruno was wasting it, and Pablo was investing his time in sweat equity. And after 6 months, he finally finished the entire pipeline. He dropped in a pump over here in a filter and turned it on, and psh, he had water flowing like crazy, filling up the town cistern. I think it's what it's called, a cistern, with water, and everybody was like, holy smoking bonanza, he's a genius, right? So the town couldn't even believe it. They thought he was a genius because now water's flowing effortlessly, and all he's got to do is like test the water and skip around and collect money and shit. And Bruno's sitting there with buckets in his hands, all hunched over and shit. Like Pablo's all excited, but now Bruno's got bags under his eyes. He's like this. But because Pablo had a vision, they said, "What are you gonna do, Pablo? You've revolutionized the town. We have what?" So they cut a big ass ribbon. Now Pablo's all rich as shit, and Bruno's all broke and shit. Look at him. Here's Pablo. No. Yeah, Pablo's all rich. And Bruno's like, wah, wah, wah. He's all fucking broke. Alright, now anyways, Pablo's like, no, I'm not gonna retire now. Even because I got a little bit of money flowing, bitches. Now, I know how to do it. I have the blueprint, right? Because he quit his day job, because now he had money flowing, residual passive income. Right, that was his little portfolio he got going. Now I'm gonna hire men, and I'm gonna build pipelines to other cities 3 times the speed and become a cajillionaire, dog. How can you increase your network? How can you think like that? But I'm telling you, man, the only way that you can even begin to build a pipeline and get rid of all this stuff. Oh, that comes out pretty good. The only way you could begin to build a pipeline or any of that, or get your business off the ground, or get a second line of income, is by doing it when you are exhausted, tired, and you don't even have the energy or the willpower or the mindset to even do it. Like, because the time is right now, literally right now. Right now. There is no other time. There is no tomorrow. There is no next week. There is no next month. The only time you have is right flipping now. What are you gonna do right now? If you're laying in bed exhausted and you get an idea, like a pipeline idea, get up and start working on it immediately. Do something. Take some type of action towards that and be relentless. And another powerful thing I learned, strategic quitting. Learn what to quit and what to say no to. As soon as you start becoming a little bit successful, or you start building this first pipeline, or maybe some people want to jump on board and they see your vision, everybody's going to want to be your partner. Everybody's going to want to partner up with you and say, oh man, you gotta come do my fucking thing. You gotta come do my thing. Screw your dream. Come do my dream. Join my dream. Yo, come work for me. As soon as you start becoming real ambitious and you got that light in your eyes, is when people are going to be offering you jobs left and right. You know, in the past when you were broke, you couldn't even find a job, but now everybody wants to give you a job and pay you more than you've ever made in your life, and you don't want the job. talking from experience here, but it's just crazy how you can draw a bunch of goofy shit on a whiteboard and record it on YouTube. Oh man. Alright, I'm ordering some food from the carryout restaurant downstairs. About to go get some food and get up out of here. And I don't know what you about to do. Let's draw. This is my cheeseburger. Let's draw some fries and shit. Out. Let me tell you a story about Ray Kroc and McDonald's. And I'll tell you that in a different story. There's a drink. Okay, I'm getting the hell out of here. I'm tired. Alright, peace.